What's up, everyone? So today we're doing a air filter replacement on the 370Z. We're going to see the ones I purchased, the price point that they come in at, and whether or not it's a good purchase. So let's get into this replacement and see what it's all about. First thing you want to know is you need to replace these air filters or blow them out at least every time you change your oil, just because they get caked up with dirt and stuff, and your car won't idle right, or it's gonna be not fuel efficient, okay, or not as fuel efficient, and you're gonna lack power. So let's see how dirty mine are, because it's been a while since I even dealt with them, and then let's look at the ones I purchased. So if you were to buy K&N air filters, I think they're $60 a piece, which is $120 for a pair, because the 370 has two intakes. Now that is kind of pricey, but if you think of it as an investment because you're keeping the car for a while, that's actually pretty cheap because you can wash those out. The papered ones, you got to throw them away. Also, the K&N gives you a better performance. These aren't K&N. I just needed something cheap just to put in here for the time being. So typically when you replace these, they're about anywhere from like $15 to $20 a piece, because usually they sell them separately. I got an actual good deal on these on Amazon, or we'll see if they're a good deal based on the quality. These were actually I believe they were under $20 for two of them. Okay, so let's take a closer look. So one thing nice about these are they are like a silicone rubber gasket all the way around. They have your metal trim all the way around. They seem really built pretty well, and they're pleated nicely. One thing you want to watch out for is making sure this rubber lasts long, because you don't want it to crack. Some of the cheaper ones, this might harden and crack, so keep an eye on it. So longevity wise, I can't comment on that just because I barely bought these. But for the price, it's not bad. Also, you want to avoid any felt ones just because that's cheap in my opinion. I like the rubber because it makes a better seal. We will be replacing the cabin air filter once that comes in. That'll be a separate video, but let's see how easy this is to take apart. So first of all, you just pop that off and pull it straight out. So once these latches are pulled out, that whole thing comes out really easily, surprisingly. Okay, it looks exactly identical. They kind of got a little bit carried away with the flashing all the way around here, so they didn't clean that up, which isn't too bad. Same thing here. These are really oily, so yeah, that's about time for a change, I'd say. So that's super dirty. I can't believe I let it go that bad, or get that bad. Also, there's some leaves in there because the air sucks in this way. This was facing the front like this, so we want to get those leaves out and yeah, put the new one back in. If you look over here, this is an original Nissan one. I can't believe I neglected to clean this and change it. Just got sidetracked with a lot of stuff, especially with the accident that this was in, still ongoing. But yeah, if you want to see what the original one looks like, they're just paper filters. So one thing you can do to these filters is they have a spray for filters in general, and it's designed to collect the dust particles, so that way no dust can pass through your filter. They usually do that on like motorcycles that go, or anything that's off-roading, just so any small particles don't pull through. But as you can see in there, this box is super clean, so I'd say that one did its job and it's not necessary. They recommend changing these every 12,000 miles, but I recommend doing it every oil change, or at least blowing it out if it doesn't look greasy like this. So to reinsert the new one, it can't go this way. It could only go one way, so it is shorter this way than it is wide. So it's wider than height-wise. So it could only go one way. And then you make sure that your pleats or the metal piece is facing this way, okay, when it goes in. So you set it in there, set this like this, and then slide it in. As you can see, this one was plastic, it wasn't even metal, so kind of an upgrade as long as that metal doesn't rust. Looks like it's galvanized or something, but so far so good. Looks like better quality. You don't have the paper topper, it's all metal folded, so I think we're in the positive here. This is the driver's side one. As you can see, super clean, no leaves in it, surprisingly. You take this, put it just like that, make sure it gets a good seal all the way around, then you just set it on in, make sure it seals, slide this underneath the tabs, and then clip it. So keep in mind, if you're running dirty air filters, your whole setup, your system on your intakes, so these pieces here, they adapt to the airflow. So when you start it, don't be scared if you hear high revs or low revs. It's going to have to relearn the amount of volume that it's sucking in. So just start it up and let it kind of regulate and figure out where it needs to be. If for whatever reason it still does it, you're going to have to relearn the system, and you could Google how to relearn your intakes. So as you could hear, it sounds really good. It did not have to regulate those intake areas. So the electronics picked up on the new flow right away, and it sounds actually really well. Usually if you change out these tubes, it's going to give you a deeper growl when you hit the gas, just because this area doesn't suck down. It changes the sound of your car, if that makes sense. It's a weird system the way the intakes are. I swapped it out for my G35 when I had it, which removed these baffles in here because this kind of silences it, and then also so does this, and it gave me a more deeper growl. So I might change those in the future as well, just because I had a good experience when doing the G35. As you can see, my brake is on, and that's just out of habit for having the G35 years ago, and it just became habit to you know, put it in gear and pull the e-brake so your car don't roll down a hill or whatever. So I continue to do that to this day, even though I have the automatic version in the 370 with the paddles. So as you can see, it's idling perfect, so it's not too crazy. The idle's, you know, where it should be. It's not fluctuating or anything either. So give it a little rev. So it does sound way better, in my opinion. And just like I said, the intake does change your exhaust note. Just having the extra airflow does change it. It's a weird system. But before, when I would come up to a stop or something, sometimes the idle would fluctuate just because it wasn't pulling enough air. So let's see how long they last. I'm just gonna keep an eye on them for a couple months, and if something were to happen, I'll let you guys know. But in the future, since I'm gonna probably be changing those intake tubes, I did not want to invest in you know, an expensive air filter, just in case the system doesn't require those boxes anymore. So that's going to complete today's video on the intake replacement filters. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It's greatly appreciated. If you want to see content like this and other content I'll be posting in the near future, consider subscribing. Until next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching.